Nice pickup onto Zenzen, not really sneaking around as ninjas should. And oh,
what a rocket!
The work cut out for them. I think in terms of like pure late game 5v5, I still like the TDE comp, but they might not get to that point. Ultravox getting locked up by the Leota, trying to get away. Great cleanse, and Anton's pushing out under the tower. Bob Joseph looking to back. Oh, a wonderful stopwatch, but the shutdown on attacks. Ultravox picks up 2 with the double kill. Lulu is still alive, channeling.
Wow, we're just 5v5 in mid lane for no objective. The mid tower is in TDE's sights. Lee's channeling his snowball. Oh, can Baby get their way out of this with Jappy? Like 1 HP. Zuza picking up another kill. Flash force out. P-Sweezy double flash from Ultravox, and Bob Joseph the bottom lane picks up another kill for themselves. P-Sweezy. Oh, yeah, well, maybe Ruru and Antunes, they're looking. Bob Joseph flashes over the wall. Teleport coming out from Zenzen. Bob Joseph, great ultimate. They force the double flash, and they still find Antunes. Antunes is dead for sure. No way to get out of that one. And now it's Luru's turn to look for a way out, but gets killed in this pressure is mostly pulling the trigger. Sword Flare goes through. Mezusa is caught and leaves, channeling a huge ultimate, but bullet time also at the same spot. Lulu kills Bob Joseph instantly, but the reset has gone through. Ultravox is clicking them down, but Dax with the lance respite has to force out of his zone. Goes down instantly. P-Sweezy trying to kite it out, but it's Zenzen taking the tower. The rest of his team is crushing it, and Ultravox.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Friend or Foe Season 5's Heroic League. I hope you all enjoyed your weekend. We just had Team Beat Boop versus Trickle Down Economics, where TDE ended up on top. Up next, we got New Wave Tsunami versus Universal Basic Income. My name is Chris Sunga. I'll be your play-by-play caster this evening. Joined with me is the victorious TDE Zenzen. How you doing, brother?
I still got chills, to be honest, Chris. Like that last game was so much energy, and I can't wait to channel that into this game. We're gonna watch my friends from New Wave Tsunami and Universal Basic Income battle it out.
Absolutely. New Wave Tsunami have to keep winning to try to stay ahead of Art of War if they want to stay in the race for that final spot in playoffs. Meanwhile, Universal Basic Income have locked themselves into playoffs, but due to TDE winning against Beat Boop, if Universal Basic Income were to win this, they could potentially go for a 3-way tie for first seed.
Yeah, and taking a look at how the draft phases are working out, I see some interesting choices in bans. New Wave Tsunami opting to put some pressure on the bottom lane of Universal Basic Income, taking away Jeff God Gamer's very famous Vayne, as well as the Nami for Bill, which also is a great pick because it will also disincentivize the Lucian coming up. We've seen that powerful combination come up many times. Meanwhile, Universal Basic Income taking away a couple of flex picks in the Volibear and Trundle, which could have gone either jungle or top, as well as the Vex. But there it is. You know it. You love it. It's the B1 Jinx.
Yes, sir. B1 Jinx. I like the Vex respect ban away from Sunny as well. Vex being available now means that Sunny can take a ban off him. So, fantastic news for New Wave Tsunami. Sivir coming out as a response from Universal Basic Income, and Maokai coming out.
Yeah, so these are very powerful picks, and this is sort of the comfort for Universal Basic Income. This is what they used to do back when their roster included Brian Sang in the bottom lane. Jeff God Gamer, really proficient with that lethality Sivir. Really good as well as a team to take decisive and powerful engages, and having that bottom lane duo of having like this hard engage with the Maokai as well as the Sivir ultimate backing that up and boosting that forward is something that they're very comfortable with. New Wave Tsunami looking, on the other hand, to try and respond. They're going to take away the Shyvana, which is interesting. Probably going to be going over to Swifty here, as he has been slamming that character. Literally his entire match history is just Shyvana. So I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like. I mean, like, I'm not kidding. Like, in the last 3 days, he has only played Shyvana. So really excited to see that, and Nautilus being picked up to lock into the Maokai.
Yeah, Zach Instalock on the side of Universal Basic Income. Utility Monster says, "All right, guys, we're done messing around in drafts. I feel like last week we stayed away from comfort on the side of YUBI, but Zach, so far this is looking like one of the most Universal Basic Income drafts I've ever seen."
Yep. Now I'm curious what New Wave is going to do from this point forward. They can reasonably expect that YUBI is going to go ahead and give counter pick to red in the top side. You can already see top side focused bans taking away the Camille and Fiora as well, really limiting Valiancy's ability to perhaps be on a carry character. NWT needs to figure out what they want to deny from this strong 3-man core from YUBI. I like the Zillion ban that's going to be taken away from Civillock, who is known to play these sort of more enchanter, more supportive roles. And it's going to prevent the move speed from becoming too much of a trouble, as well as the Mundo away from Red, just really trying to limit the number of lane bullies that he has access to.
Absolutely. Civillock getting pinched a little bit with that Zillion ban. Could bring out, I was just about to say, could bring out the Annie, bringing out one of the most standard champions that Civillock has played throughout the history of Friend or Foe. 3 seasons here. Annie, most played champion on Civillock so far.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this draft about 6 times, maybe 7. Like I feel like I'm having deja vu right now. You know, and to the defense, NWT does have something interesting going for them, and I'm excited to see how this Shyvana matches up against this Zac, because you know Shyvana is a very powerful farming jungler, and Zac not a character that can typically match her in a one-on-one. So I'm interested to see what they want to build to support that playstyle, allow them to farm up, and then maybe take, straight on engages. It does look like NWT Sunny gonna be taking the Ahri. Excuse me.
You're good.
Which is great.
Yeah, Ahri coming out. Yone also being picked up from the side of New Wave Tsunami, so Valency most likely taking that up. One more pick on the side of Universal Basic Income, most likely. Going over to red, there's options like the Shen, there's options like the Malphite that could come out off of YUBI's draft right now. But so far, New Wave Tsunami have opted into their Shyvana pick. As you said, 3 days of training on the side of Swifty. So we're going to see if those 3 days are going to work out for him. Malphite being picked up by Universal Basic Income.
Yeah, and I love the Malphite Slam for red. What a powerful pickup against the Yone. Yone does have a pretty strong laning phase, but will really struggle the later that stage goes. And taking a look at both of these compositions, Universal Basic Income has one very clear goal in mind, and that is we are going to group up as 5, and we are going to Hulk smash this team.
Yeah,
and
I feel like
I'm
I've
interested to
seen
see
this a
what
lot.
New Wave Tsunami can do to try to mitigate that.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. We're going to get into games shortly, but based off of this draft, I'd have to say Universal Basic Income looking very, very comfortable. I'd have to put my channel points on them if it was me, but Zenzen, what do you say?
So I do think NWT can surprise, right? NWT has had a couple of standout wins. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but I believe that they actually defeated YUBI in their first match in a bit of an upset.
Yes, they did.
And you know, one thing that this team does have going for them is that they have stronger side laners in Valiancy and Sunny. So it's possible that if they're comfortable playing a split push style and they're able to 1-3-1, oh god.
Okay, Hook immediately goes through Charm lands onto Jeff God Gamer. First blood. Channel points, I hope you guys got it in because it's going to close right away. First blood to New Wave Tsunami.
Yeah, what a great play. And I have to imagine that that's sort of a calculated move. YUBI, a team who doesn't necessarily like to coin flip early invades, and they know that they're going to have that AD carry sort of floating around that river area, and Jeff just a little bit too far forward, not expecting the roam. Great play from Ollie, able to pick up that kill. Does burn the Ignite early, but that's not a trouble at all. You were very, very happy to start with that extra gold in the pocket.
Level 1. Forward fusion right out of the bush, coming out of New Wave Tsunami, hitting Jeff right in the face. He's going to feel that, but we're going to get right into this early game. I'm sure that scoreboard will fix itself soon. CS will be fixed, and assists and stuff will be reflected. Thank you so much, Observer. We appreciate you. Thank you.
So it does look like both teams going to be starting on the bottom side of the map with their junglers, which is interesting. Swifty going to have the early clear advantage here. I'm interested to see what kind of action is going to happen towards this top side of the map, as we see Valency just trading a little bit here. But I think in the 2v2 early on, I still favor YUBI just because, if you're trying to make something happen in that top side, Zac and Malphite are just so tanky, and the damage is not quite there until you get a couple items on this Yone. So I'm interested to see if they're just going to commit to full clearing and sort of playing a passive game, or if they want to try to spice it up.
Absolutely. Valiancy up in the top lane, getting a nice trade onto Red right now. Red trying to just stay alive, playing the early level 1 trades nice and smooth. Red, on the other hand, ex-coach to New Wave Tsunami, for those who didn't know, was on the team initially before qualifiers was about to start, ended up dropping, and then joined YUBI. But Valiancy getting a lot of damage on Red.
Yeah, Malphite has to be a little bit careful in these early levels, despite, you know, Yone not having the most incredible early game. He does have this Death of 1,000 Cuts thing, and you can already see that mana bar from Malphite starting to dwindle a little bit. So we'll have to be careful to sustain. It does look like Valence is going to take an early cheater recall as well, which should exacerbate the problem. I actually really like this play because if you're committing to just farming on both sides, you don't have to be there for this first Scuttle Crab. So I'm going to be very happy with that reset. And still not a whole lot else happening on the map just yet. Both teams just kind of chilling.
Both teams chilling. Bot lane has to back. Give me a reset. Has no mana. Ollie gonna back with them, and we've commented in the Friend of Foe Connect that you guys can see at fofesports.com/press, or you can type !magazine in Twitch chat. We've been commenting a lot that Ollie has been the type of support that's been warding a lot, but New Wave Tsunami hasn't been the type of team to sort of utilize that. Swifty catching Utility Monster saying nope, not going for that 1v1 early.
Yeah, and this is the interesting thing about this matchup, right? Because Utility Monster traditionally a very farm-heavy... Oh, scratch that. Swifty coming in here.
Walking slowly towards Red. Probably not going to get a whole lot, just making sure his presence is known. That means Utility Monster knows exactly where Swifty is, moves towards that bot side.
Yeah, Red is in the danger zone here, having to deal with the threat of a freeze. Valency able to push him off, and he doesn't have mana either. So he's going to be stuck with the CS deficit for a short time. Going to have to TP back. So we may see a repeat gank or just a repeat visit from Shyvana. It was very smart. But what I was going to say about this jungle matchup is that you saw at the Scuttle Crab, Swifty just a faster clearing jungle. Utility Monster tends to be that kind of player who doesn't force ganks over much. He's a kind of character who is all about farming his camps and then looking for something. And I'm curious if that's going to work for him now that he's up against a jungler who's actually clearing faster and more efficiently than he is.
Absolutely. 1v1 starting to go up in the top lane right now. Valiancy getting down to half health, has to shift himself back. But YUBI Red did teleport into the top side. Valiancy trying to get a lot of pressure up there, but nothing gained so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to look a little bit rough because once Red finishes that first clear, he does get the tier, and this is real
that's
scary.
A lot of damage. Pulls the flash out of Valiancy. Red flashes forward, slaps him right in the face, and gets another kill for Universal Basic Income.
Yeah, Red really showing mastery of the matchup, right? Knowing that even though his early lane was not a great spot, because he has that tier, he can take fights more aggressively. But we see this huge play for the dragon.
Yeah, New Wave Tsunami have opted for this early dragon. Blue team has taken it. New Wave get the dragon, but Universal Basic Income have opted for a fight. 3-man stun from Civil Lock. That's huge. Reset gets a kill on Bill, though. And the rest of New Wave just trying to kite it back. Reset on the back pedal. Utility Monster really close to being able to catch him out. Sunny, though, still on the side to try to protect them. Charm goes through to stop the knockup. Fantastic Charm. Utility Monster. Goo passive goes down. And Gimme a Reset might be able to get a kill on Utility Monster. Yes, he does. Fantastic Charm coming out of Sunny. We're going to see a quick replay. Utility Monster. Look at that. So close. Nice Charm.
Yeah, what a clutch play from Sunny, and really credit to NWT for making the most of a situation. They kind of assumed that resources were going to be spent top lane, and they just commit to the dragon. And that's the kind of initiative that you need to have against a team like YUBI, who traditionally are very, very powerful in mid to late stages of the game, but we've seen it time and time again that they can get stuffed in these early game plays, and that's going to be a huge pickup and a boost of morale for the entire side of NWT.
Absolutely. New Wave Tsunami really wanting that final spot into playoffs. Just as a reminder, if YUBI wins this, it sets up a potential 3-way tie for first seed. So, New Wave trying to upset this.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. And you know, I mentioned this during my player interview, but it's such a testament to the quality of teams that we have that even going into the final week, there's still so many undecided matches, right?
Oh yeah.
That, you know, it's still not clear who's going to be number one, who's going to be number two, who's going to be number three. And also, you know, that fight at the bottom between these teams that have shown incredible growth. I think NWT and AWE are looking so much better than they did in the earlier weeks of the season. And it's just a shame that we're only going to be able to see so many of them.
No. Yeah, one of the most exciting things I enjoy in the season is usually week 7, because that's when most of the time standings are decided. So people kind of, you know, have fun, like to do a couple troll drafts here and there. But even right now, the last place team, Pandas with Hat, still has a chance to make it into playoffs. So anything could happen now.
Yeah. Civilok hovering on the side of the lane where his jungler's at, but really playing this a little bit dangerous. Going to get chunked out very hard. Meanwhile, Swifty making his path up to the top side. I don't think anything's going to happen there. Valency just needing to collect the farm, but I really like the way that Swifty is spending a lot of time protecting this Yone, because the counter matchup is so bad that you need to spend this time, but it's time well spent. If this Yone can get off of the ground, it's possible that they can still use it as a split push threat and pull this team fighting composition from YUBI apart.
Swifty, knowing that his bottom side is super strong right now, wants to get Valency some kind of love right now. Red being extra smart right now, making sure he doesn't get ganked by anyone right now. Blue buffs handing it over to the mid laner. Everything just kind of relaxed right now. Not a whole lot happening. Everyone's kind of just waiting for that mid game.
Yeah, and we see a reversal of the situation in top lane. Valency now in a ton of trouble as Swifty did not stay long enough. Civilok in trouble.
Ooh, Civilok getting advanced on by Sunny, but that's a nice stun. Sunny's ignited. I don't think you make this. Sunny goes down to Civilok. 3-3 right now is the score in favor of both sides, actually.
Oh my goodness. If Sunny lands a charm against Civilok, that entire battle goes completely the opposite way. But credit to Civilok, he sticks to his guns, just slams the ultimate right on top of him, and Tibbers wasn't going to have any of it. Fantastic play, and look at that, the game is evened up, despite the 3-0 jinx.
Red advancing onto Valency just a little bit. This might be a full commit. Red, this looks good for you if you want to take this. Valency has to ult forward. Red walks in front of him. Valency running really low. So is Red. Valency wins the 1v1. Now the score is 4-3 in favor of New Wave Tsunami.
I'm not going to lie to you, Chris. I did not think
that
he wins that. Even with Red just completely whiffing the ultimate, I thought for sure Yone was dead to rights, but credit where credit is due. Valency knows the limits of his character, you know, continues to push forward and is rewarded handsomely for it. I mean, that is massive to get that golden fusion on a character that needs gold to scale.
Valency replacing Hyakimaru, aka Shiho or BBZ Nier, if you guys remember him. Replaced Hyakimaru after qualifiers this season, and hasn't been talked about a whole lot because you have players like Zen, of course, that's in the conversation a lot. And Valency has been fairly solid. There's been a couple conversations about Valency not knowing matchups well or performing in matchups that he should be winning, but Valency looking strong right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see, NWT setting up for this dragon. I like this. They're on the first push, so they're going to have first control over this river. But again, this fight is so scary.
Yeah, this is going to be really critical. Utility Monster advancing forward, just walking, but Charm misses. Shyvana ult goes through. Utility Monster immediately goes down. Red actually died in the background. Bill the Pony getting really low. Swifty half health right now. A hook goes through onto Bill. Really low members from both sides, but no one is dead yet. Bill goes down. Give me a reset. Rocket goes through. Jeff God Gamer is 1 HP. Just one more hit, and they'll be able to get the reset. One more. Are you serious? Jeff God Gamer's gonna make it out.
Oh man. Meanwhile, in the top side, it was gonna be a solo kill for Red, redeeming himself. But what a fantastic, decisive decision making from NWT in that play. They notice that YUBI has uncharacteristically sort of spread their team apart, and they immediately recognize Utility Monster is not in the spot that he needed to be. They slam the Shyvana ultimate directly on top of him. NWT Sunny doing a great job as well, supporting the play. And ultimately, the struggle with this team fight composition that YUBI has drafted is that if you're not all together strong, you can fall apart one at a time, and that's exactly what we saw in that fight.
Absolutely. I'd love to see the gold whenever we get a second, because Jeff God Gamer and Civillock, one of the most, for lack of a better term, richer players in the league, having a high gold in the leaderboards, and just dying there is just actually just so insane that they were able to live that. I don't know the best way to explain that. Living and surviving that is just so huge for Jeff God Gamer and New Wave Tsunami, even though they were able to win out the fight and get the dragon. Gotta wonder if this game would have been easier for them if Jeff God had died there.
Yeah, absolutely. That said, Reset is popping off on his favorite character, although this is a dead Yode.
Yeah, Valiancy getting knocked up twice, knocked up thrice. YUBI Red taking down Valiancy nice and easy over the side of Universal Basic Income.
I'm getting flashbacks to my last game. Guys, don't come top, please. Please don't. Please don't. The war, it was too much.
Yeah.
But still, look at this. Even though NWT lose the play in top lane, they're so smart. They know that Red needs to crash the wave and leave, so they're immediately starting up this objective.
Yeah, absolutely. Utility Monster is here, though. He does see this. He can command Civillock and Red to come down. Going for the steal. Let's see who gets it. It's going to be, I can't even tell right now, Sunny. It looks like Sunny's the one that's going to be able to pick it up. So New Wave Tsunami were able to pick up that Rift Herald.
Oh,
and
yeah, Everfrost's going to force the flash, because again, Red doesn't have that ultimate, used it in the play topside. Meanwhile, this movement does mean Gimme Reset going to be forced off this tower, which is not great, but on the other hand, he's already completed his Gale Force. Like, he's pretty happy to just continue to extend the gold lead to other members, so I like this adaptation. Bill, tanking very low, could die to a Jinx Rocket at this point.
Yep, I like this play, this macro play from the side of New Wave Tsunami. Ollie roaming around with his jungler right now. They might look for that bot lane, but Jeff God Gamer and Bill the Pony just going to end up retreating. Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane.
Yeah. So taking a look at the overall score, this game is still anyone's match. About 300 gold separates these two teams, but crucially, NWT has done such an incredible job of being incredibly proactive about these early objectives. Something that YUBI is typically known for is their ability to get these early dragons, and so I'm interested to see how they're going to play from this position where they are down dragons and they can't just look to scale in order to end the game.
I mean, I feel like I've seen many scenarios where YUBI's behind in the early game and they've snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat.
Absolutely true. But oftentimes they're like, I feel like a lot of times when I watch YUBI games, it's like, we're down 6,000 gold, we lost 2 towers early, but we somehow got 2 dragons. And they don't have that fallback currently.
That's true,
And Valiancy actually making great use, because he has completed that Vampiric Scepter, he can actually, he has a window to trade against Red, where Red doesn't have the full tank stats required. Hasn't completed that Mythic yet. Gonna go ahead and recall and pick that up, but Valiancy, like, trying to push his advantage here, I really like it.
Yep, absolutely. Fighting the top lane. Malfi ulti goes through Valiancy. That tower ulti is coming for you. Tower shot, sorry. Coming right for your face. Unlucky. Well played by Red to get that kill for the side of Universal Basic.
Oh man, I totally cast or cursed that guy. I was just like, yeah, you could just poke him out, right? You just like E and Q over and over, and eventually Red will have to recall. But he thinks he has the damage for the ultimate. He absolutely does not, and gets punished for it.
Yeah.
So, bit of a shame, but both teams now going to go ahead and go to the reset, because this third dragon is up in about 30 seconds, and both teams are raring to go for it.
Yeah, YUBI Red will be here first. No teleport on him. Valiancy is up now. Could teleport if he wants to, but New Wave Tsunami taking this Dragon River first. We're going to see how Universal Basic Income want to approach this. Mid lane getting pressured. Some members of New Wave going to have to attract to that.
Yeah, critically looking at this fight, Valiancy has not completed his mythic item, so will be slightly weaker on this push. Red, totally alone.
Yep. They are aware that Malphite has no ultimate, so should they decide to fight now, it could be the window they're looking for. New Wave Tsunami have the first move. Choke point has been given up. Hook goes wide, so nothing has started just yet. Utility Monster jumps forward first. Valiancy fighting red. Meanwhile, that's going to be Sunny going down. Jeff God Gamer goes wild, gets double kill off of New Wave Tsunami. Swifty and Gimme a Reset having to run away. 4 members of New Wave Tsunami go down to Universal Basic Income. Swifty now on the back pedal goes down to Jeff God Gamer. Scores 7-11 in favor of YUBI, and third dragon goes to them.
This is exactly what YUBI is known for, and why they are regarded as the =1 team in the league. They are just so good at picking decisive fights. At NWT, you could see them hesitate for the half second there. They weren't sure whether they should commit onto red, if they should, back away from Zach and Annie. And to be fair, Zach and Annie are very scary characters to stand up to. But crucially, they lose control of the choke points. And the moment that you lose control of the choke points, suddenly Utility Monster and YUBI Red and Civil Lock are able to just run in with impunity, and they will smash that fight every single time if you give them the full-on front to back. So credit to YUBI for recognizing the direction, but NWT, if they want to have a hope of making playoffs, they need to be better about controlling these objectives.
Should they lose this game, it will be a lot harder for them to try to make it into playoffs. They're going to hope that Art of War loses the remaining games. But New Wave Tsunami, we've commented about them on the Friend or Foe Connect, talking about how New Wave Tsunami, it feels like they're all individually Friend or Foe worthy players. They all deserve to be on a team in Friend or Foe. They can play competitively well. But they just feel a little bit disconnected, a little bit disjointed, as if there isn't that one person giving them the go button. Sunny, meanwhile, going for a charm. Build a Pony says, this is my opportunity to go forward. That made mistake. Sunny immediately gets exploded.
Yeah, just, again, really decisive from the side of YUBI, recognizing when they step a little bit too far forward. And this is the problem with this team composition. At this point, with a 12-7 deficit, NWT cannot take these 5-on-5s anymore. They have to commit to playing a split push, and even that might not be strong enough, as Valiancy getting taken very low.
Yeah, Utility Monster trying to go for the 1v1. Valiancy valiantly trying to slay him. Utility Monster goes down, actually. He thought, but Valiancy had it.
I cannot believe, dude, that guy is getting by with murder right now. Yeah. First the fight against Red, now the fight against Utility Monster, and he TP's out. What a smooth criminal.
Yeah, fantastic play. Red could have ultied to stop him if he had known where he was, but nice play from Valiancy to make it out. Valiancy being the one member right now that potentially could swing the game.
As we take a check-in on the items here, we see lots of stuff completing. I like Utility Monster. Going to go ahead for that Azakana's Embrace or Demonic Embrace, trying to get that extra damage out of his kit. I really like that choice because you've already got so much tank, and there's not a whole lot of damage, honestly, on the side of this NWT composition. So if you're looking to burst people out, that's exactly the item that you want. Meanwhile, on the other side, this Jinx about to be very scary once they complete the second item, but they do need to get there before this next dragon comes up.
Civil Lock. Hunting a little bit, double checking that bush. Nice dodge from the charm, but I don't think anything is going to happen up down there in the bot lane.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be pretty normal for a little bit. There's not really an objective that either side is willing to take. One thing that I want to stress, though, is that YUBI has done a fantastic job of warding up the areas that they want to control. You can see that they have the Scuttle Crab ward over on Baron, so they know that that's not happening. And then they also have 3 pinks dedicated towards this bottom side, where they're preventing these picks from NWT coming through. And that's really essential for their team. They want to fight this 5v5, so they need to make sure that they can safely walk through their jungle in order to get there. And I really like what they're doing with their vision.
Now, Build a Pony getting a little bit of vision of Dragon. Minute and a half before that comes up. New Wave Tsunami going to try to see if they can reach Soul Point for themselves. That would put them in a prime spot to at least be threatening in this game. But Utility Monster clearing out topside jungle, making sure that Baron is potentially threatened. Valiancy is here, though. Nothing to be gained. Rest of YUBI just going to be playing the vision game as Dragon comes 1 minute.
Yeah, and
Here comes Utility Monster going straight onto Valiancy right now. The rest of YUBI is here as well. Valiancy has to flash away. Jeff God Gamer runs really low. Sunny has moved forward.
Red.
YUBI Red is here though. A nice Malphite ulti could be here. There it is. Nice dive onto the mid lane. Universal basic income. Nautilus ulti prevents a little bit of that damage, but Build a Pony running really low. Swifty having to backpedal. Build a Pony goes down, but so does Valiancy. Jeff God Gamer is unstoppable. The rest of Universal basic income say this is enough. No more plays need to be done, but Sunny trying to move forward.
Yeah, a bit of an overforce there. NWT able to just barely eke out a victory, but you can see how absolutely terrifying this YUBI roster, this composition can be when it's in full force. I would not want to be on the side of NWT trying desperately to kite backwards, trying desperately to survive, but I would like to be them in this scenario where they have inside track on the dragon with Utility Monster nowhere to be found.
Ollie trying to zone Red away from this dragon take, but Jeff God Gamer and Civilock are on the side. This could get really dangerous really soon. Civilock flashes forward. That's gonna be Swifty grabbing the dragon though to flash away. The rest of YUBI trying to pick up kills while they can. But that's gonna be a dragon in favor of New Wave Tsunami, but Universal Basic Income picking up 2 more kills.
Yeah, and their eyes are directly onto the Baron as it should be. NWT just a little bit, I feel, impatient there. Could have waited a little while longer until Gimme a Reset got there. Has completed that Lord Dom, so is very, very powerful in the fights, but has to be there first. Instead, you know, they overcommit to the dragon. That's going to give YUBI the opportunity to take this Baron and continue to accelerate this gold lead up to about 6,000 gold.
Valiancy tried to see if he could prevent something. Jinx Rocket not going to be able to pick up anything, but at least they know how far the Baron is. Baron in favor of Universal Basic Income right now. We're seeing a lot of pings towards that middle and bottom tower right now.
Valiancy!
Oh no, Valiancy, you might be at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's YUBI Red going straight for Valiancy.
Yeah.
I don't... That's a little unlucky.
That's charitable. We'll call it unlucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it unlucky. It is unfortunate. Now, credit where credit is due. NWT do make use of, you know, a bad situation. They managed to pick up another objective bounty. They got the objective bounty for the 3rd dragon, and then they picked up the mid tower as well. And that is stifling the growing of the gold lead, which is very good. I do favor NWT if they are able to have... if they're allowed to give me a reset to just free hit, they can win these fights, but it's so hard with the vision control that YUBI is continuing to exude.
Absolutely. Now, New Wave Tsunami did defeat YUBI in the first half of the split, so Universal Basic Income looking for some kind of revenge, maybe. But New Wave Tsunami, it is possible for them to come back. We've literally seen it before. We saw it happen last time. They were in almost this exact same spot and were able to turn it around last second. But Universal Basic Income just doing a textbook push from the top and mid lanes. New Wave Tsunami just on the defense.
Yeah, and it's so hard to play from this position because you know that the enemy team has such powerful engage tools with the Zac Leap and Tippers, and you know, I could just list words over and over and over. All 5 of these characters can engage, and being the team that has to put your foot forward is absolutely terrifying. NWT doing what they can to hold, but these mid and top towers are slowly being chipped down.
This is going to slowly be in favor of Universal Basic Income as these towers are going to slowly get chipped away. New Wave Tsunami, you got to wonder what's on their mind right now. You got to see if they want to go for some kind of engage. One of the ways to get out of this is to potentially pick off YUBI Red or Utility Monster right in the middle, but the rest of YUBI is already here just because of their macro position, and that's going to be Utility Monster taking down Gimme a Swifty moving forward with the Shyvana ulti. Utility Monster has to flash out. Red in the front line right now, swearing off the rest of New Wave Tsunami, but they're going to back off, take this middle inhib, make sure that they can get what they want, and just get out.
Yeah, Swifty desperately needs a Tahm Kench on his team. Like, he would be so happy if he could just swap out this Nautilus for a Tahm Kench at this stage in the game in particular. And you can see YUBI clearly has identified exactly what they need to do to win every team fight, and that's smush this Jinx. They do that, they immediately pick up the inhibitor, and they balloon the gold lead up to almost 9,000. And from this point, it seems so difficult for NWT to find a way back.
1 minute on this potential soul for New Wave Tsunami. That might be something that they're looking for. That might be the key back into this game, but the rest of YUBI already in position to take control of that Dragon River. New Wave Tsunami, we'll see how they react.
Yeah, I'd love for the observers to hit F1 for a moment so we could take a look at NWT's vision. Spoiler alert, they have none. They got nothing. Zero. They got a pink ward in the top bush near blue buff. But that's it, and that's not where you want to be when Soul Point is up in 30 seconds, and this is like your time to shine. They're going to make the smart decision to push through mid, but Swifty, perhaps a little bit caught out, going to have to walk away. But this is so dangerous.
Yeah, like you said, no vision in the bot jungle for New Wave Tsunami, and YUBI knows this. They're going to play with this vision properly, make sure that New Wave Tsunami can't even enter their own jungle, or if they do, they can be threatened.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that is less appreciated about the way that the game snowballs, is that when you are behind, I mean, this is going to be obvious, but it's just not something that people think about. When you're behind, you just don't have the money for the wards, right? Like, you look over on Gimme a Reset, he is desperately trying to scrap together the pieces that he needs to build that Infinity Edge to be powerful. You know, Sunny really wants that Zanya so that he doesn't get immediately blown up in these fights. And as a result, it's just so difficult to commit the resources to walk in here. Now Sunny and Swifty and Valency have to get on the reset because this bottom tier is under siege.
Universal basic income threatening this bot dive, going straight into the AD carry. Give me a reset, doesn't even get a chance to right click, immediately gets up by the side of Universal basic income. Swifty goes golden, build a pony is really low. Jeff God Gamer putting out the damage. Sunny goes golden. Universal pedal a little bit. Swifty advancing forward. Ollie gonna take down Utility Monster, at least his passive. Swifty and Sunny, the only two members on New Wave Tsunami left remaining to defend this. Jeff God Gamer flashes forward, doesn't get Swifty. Never mind. Yes, he does. My bad. I was wrong. Shouldn't have doubted you. And that's going to be it. That's going to be Universal basic income going for the Nexus turrets. 22-11. Only Sunny remains to defend this, and I don't think they can do it. Give me a reset is alive, though. There's a chance. Universal basic income might go for it. Civilock flashes forward, goes for the stun. On to Give me a reset. Sunny might try for something. Jeff God Gamer, nothing to be gained.
Yeah. This might actually be a walk back as members are respawning. Red gonna go ahead and come in here to try and commit and finish it. It should be doable, but YUBI is low on resources here. They do not have their ultimates available, so they have to play it smart, but it should be an easy end if they want it.
Alright, fair. I respect it. Yeah, I guess that's Universal basic income saying, let's just take the safer play, just triple inhib them, but that's it. Gonna go back towards, going back to their bases, reset. New Wave Tsunami have a little bit of extra time. There's a chance they can maybe go for that soul again for 3 minutes, but what do you do in this scenario, man?
Well, you sit in your base, because you can't go anywhere else, and you right-click some minions, and you hope that there aren't any scary green or brown monsters in the bushes near your base. I think that's the move for NWT. You can see Swifty, like, entertaining the idea of walking near this Baron, but, like, man, that is not an appealing proposition when you're down triple inhibitor and a Nexus turret. Like, one more death spells doom for NWT, and they need to make maximum use out of every single opportunity that they can, and this Baron is not it.
Yeah, this Baron, just an easy take for YUBI. They're so strong, they don't even really have to try to protect it. The rest of New Wave knows they can't contest this. It's just not possible. They're going to try to farm as much as they can. Oh, meanwhile, Swifty maybe trying to scout a little bit. Everyone on Universal basic income going straight for Swifty's face, and Swifty goes down to Jeff God Gamer.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta respect the attempt at the hero play, but it's just not the move for it. You can't walk in there into 5 chonky boys who all have things that can kill you. So gonna have to walk it out. Now here comes the Death March. Red still has that ultimate.
Oh, Universal basic income putting out the Zac ulti. Jeff God Gamer is legendary, taking out Valency. Utility Monster jumps forward. No fear at all. Sunny goes down, double kill for Jeff God Gamer. Ollie maybe, but that's Yumiversal Basic Income getting revenge on New Wave Tsunami and making that three-way tie possible. They tried to go for the dive, but YUBI takes down New Wave.
Yeah, clean and dominant performance by YUBI, doing what they were known best for. They played a composition that was very standard, very practiced. Wasn't going to be seeing that double cat comp, no Rengars or Yumis in sight, which you hate to see, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice to see good, clean, well-executed League of Legends, and I think despite a few hookups around the early Dragons, YUBI performed about as expected, and they did a great job closing out a game that they were favored to win.
Absolutely. Civillock and Jeff God Gamer putting out the stats right now, playing absolutely amazing. Now, so with this win, Yumiversal Basic Income have now tied TDE and Baby, as far as I understand it, setting up a three-way tie for first/second/third, I believe. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait. As we said, it's incredible that we're this late into the season and we still have playoff implications for each and every one of these games. And not just for the top side of the bracket either. New Wave Tsunami, I believe, still have an opportunity to tiebreak into playoffs, but their road ahead is very difficult moving forward. They still have the opportunity to do it, but the fight at the bottom is incredibly tight, as well as the fight at the top. So I cannot wait to see where that's going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to see how these games go. We're still just waiting to see what these final standings are going to be so late into the season. It's crazy to hear about. But thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to kick it off to an interview with Yumiversal Basic Income's top laner, YUBI Red. Stick around. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Dark, honey, when I rank in a tight flow spark, what a psycho chart, playing dice, go start. Oh, who are you? Better know yourself, know your soul, gotta know your wealth. Slow your roll, get a hold, don't melt, and don't you fall when I feel like hell. Well, who am I? Am I me? I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Writing, trying to get myself a lamb color cut for the game. Leave him hanging by his chain, click bang, feeling rage, feeling fire in my brain, feeling sane, and it's all we feel the flame. 45 to my brain, praying for it, please fail, no glory. So I'm flustered, taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. But you trying to get myself a lamb color custard. Remember, I used to be that kid that every day would get rejected. Y'all got my story, the glory was painted on a song. I'm mortified but feel immortal. This pen to this paper always open up different portals. It's I and me, it's me and I'm by myself. I'm down the ride, I'm taking on the tide. Size of tsunamis touching the sky. I got a quick scan. It's time to move, leaving everything else behind. I got something to prove. I'm just riding away, no, I ain't running away. I got memories set, oh, I'm just finding my place where I belong to. Feeling glory in my soul. Hey, I'm riding away, I'm finding my place. Yeah, I gotta escape, yeah, that's what I gotta do. See you on the other side, see you on the other side, see you on the other side. We all know.
Hello folks, Chris Edgeworth here with our third interview of the night, joined this time by Red of the top lane from the victorious Universal Basic Income. How are you feeling after the big win?
Oh, feeling pretty good. It was expected. We lost the NWT last time, and I vowed to get revenge, and we managed to win.
Hell yeah. I think that's great. You folks get the strike back. On the record, before we head into the playoffs, and let's talk about how this game developed. You folks drafted a very interesting composition in the sense that it's not your quote-unquote standard meta, but this is the YUBI meta for sure. A lot of these familiar faces out of the draft for Universal Basic Income. You find yourself in the Malphite matchup in the top side against Yone. We also see Jeff coming out with the Sivir, who got to meet everyone on the Rift very early with the level 1 death. Let's talk about the draft. What do you think about what the draft you folks came into this game with, but also what you ended up against?
Yeah, so our draft tyrant was casting at the time of draft. So I was running draft today, and somehow we ended up with the most UB composition the entire season when Utility Monster wasn't even there.
Yeah, this would be like the UB world skins.
If we had a Wukong top, it would have been like the perfect run back.
Is this what you folks played in your first matchup against them?
Against NWT? No, we were trying something new. It was kind of the similar idea of what the UB comp usually is, which is a death ball comp. And it was a different variation of that. It was a comp that was more favored towards the early and mid game and fell off late, and then we ended up just getting kited out by Zeri, dogshit champion. We loaded in the game and we recognized that realistically their only real damage threat to the Malphite was Shyvana, because Ahri cannot kill tanks.
Yeah.
And so, once we recognized that and we played around the Shyvana, I kind of just got to sit on the front line and ignore all the damage.
Let's talk about your way into this game, because you did have the matchup in the top side against the Yone for Valiancy. I really felt like you folks loaded into Summoner's Rift today and decided, all right, that guy is not going to be playing any League of Legends today. He was already in the Malphite matchup, which is no fun. It's a little better than the other brother. The Yasuo into Malphite matchup is even more miserable than this one. But he tried to get one over on you in lane, didn't work that way, and then you folks were just constantly diving onto him, Utility Monster, targeting him in the head every time with the jump. What were your thoughts about how you were able to establish agency in this lane against Valiancy?
I thought it went pretty well. I had a little hiccup. I solo killed him once. I had a little hiccup where I kind of misjudged how far Yone Q takes you, and I ulted behind him and whiffed, and I was one auto attack away from killing him before I died, so I ended up coin flipping that one a little too hard and losing. But after that we did a 1-for-1, and then after that, the Malphite has enough gold to have items, and I can just roll over him with the help of my team.
Yeah, I wasn't tracking this during the game, but I was just thinking of it just now, because I think there was at least twice where you folks fought and killed one another and or killed one of each other while your team was like fighting, like 4v4, and then you guys were 1v1ing on the entire opposite side of the map? Was that like, oh, I gotta stop this guy from getting the TP out, or was it just sort of like you guys were scrapping and it turns out the other side of the map happened to be scrapping too?
The only time I recall that happen, I'm sorry, when in like a 5v5 when we were fighting off to the side?
No, I mean, like, so what were you were any of these fights that you were having in the 1v1 when you folks were sort of in the side lanes, were you fighting at the same time as your team was fighting to sort of make sure that the other side wasn't going to TP into these fights? Was that ever a consideration? Just because it seemed like
no.
you guys kept fighting while the other four were fighting. You weren't trying to join the fight.
No. I got forced onto a boring champion because they played an anti-fun champion, so I just wanted to have fun, so I went to battle.
There you go. I like it. Well, this was a big win for YUBI. We do have the likes of Baby and TDE who are chomping at your heels as we get into the playoffs. What are your thoughts on the makeup of Team Baby and TDE, and your thoughts on their playoff hopes against you?
Yeah, I'll start with TDE because that one's faster. I don't think TDE has a very good matchup against us. I think we're just better than them. And Baby, I think, is a lot better than us at the early game. And it's just whether or not we can pull off the 30-minute YUBI Classic and win team fights.
Well, it is certainly the matchup that everyone is going to be keeping their eyes on. You have the perennial, or I guess Baby is technically a returning team. So I was gonna say two newcomers into the league chomping at the heels of the perennial favorite, but that it seems that we do have the two new teams that are right on your heels. So we'll be interested to see how these things shake out in the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much, Red, for joining us for this interview. Before we step away, though, your opportunity, final thoughts, shout-outs, banter to leave on the desk.
Yeah, I guess I've kind of just fully converted to the Church of Analytics in YUBI because I had the ability to completely control the draft, and I ended up drafting a YUBI comp. So that's something that happened. Also, shout out to Valiancy. I thought he played pretty well into a kind of rough matchup. So, it's nice to see other top laners do well and not just roll over and die.
Yeah, he took it on the chin and gave his lumps back too. So we definitely tip our hat to that for sure, Valiancy. Red, thank you so much for this interview. Always great to talk to you. But that is going to be it for us here for this third interview. We do have one more game coming up to you shortly, so don't go too far. More FOF coming at you.
Ooh, very nice pickup onto Zenzen. Not really sneaking around as Ninja's